Imagine your kitchen smoke alarm goes off, but it waited 3 weeks after the fire started to actually beep.
Right. I mean, that would be completely useless.
Exactly. But that is essentially what just happened in the freezers of families across 21 states. Welcome to today's deep dive, where we are unpacking a massive recall of, I think it's over 160,000 pounds of farm-rich pizza cheese crunchers.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of food. We are looking at how metal secretly slips into our food supply and what actually happens to the human body when you accidentally eat a piece of the factory.
And just so you know, our sources today are a mix of news reports, FDA recall policies, the FDA's hazard control guidelines, and some medical insights from Harvard Health.
Right, so let's get right into the facts. The manufacturer, Rich Products Corporation, actually initiated a voluntary recall back on May 19th.
Okay, May 19th. But the public didn't really get officially notified until June 9th, right?
Exactly. The FDA didn't officially classify the severity until June 9th, so that is a 3-week communication gap where parents were just completely in the dark.
That is so terrifying. I mean, you could have been serving up metal fragments to your kids for 3 weeks without knowing.
Yeah, it's really not great. If you have a box of these in your freezer, specifically with a Best By date of July 30th, 2027, you definitely want to check the FDA website for the specific lot numbers.
I will definitely be checking mine tonight. But why does a delay like that even happen? 3 weeks is a really long time.
Well, it really comes down to the bureaucracy of risk assessment. A manufacturer will initiate a voluntary recall immediately just to get the product off the line.
Right, cover their bases.
Yeah, but then the FDA takes time to test the hazard, figure out exactly how dangerous the specific fragments are, and officially classify the severity. In this case, they eventually labeled it a Class 2 recall.
Wait, Class 2? That sounds, I don't know, kind of moderate. We're talking about metal in a cheese snack. Why isn't that a Class 1?
I know, it sounds crazy because Class 1 is for severe life-threatening situations. But it turns out the human digestive tract is surprisingly resilient.
Wait, really? Resilient against swallowing metal?
Yeah, according to Harvard Health, most swallowed foreign objects actually pass naturally within 24 to 48 hours without causing permanent harm.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
So the FDA defines a Class 2 recall as a situation where the health consequences are likely temporary or medically reversible, and the chance of severe injury is remote.
Okay, I get that for maybe a smooth piece of plastic,
Yeah.
but a sharp piece of metal has to be a completely different story.
Oh, absolutely. Sharp metal is exactly the primary risk here because it can lacerate the esophagus or the intestines.
Yikes. So what are the actual warning signs if it doesn't just pass naturally?
You really want to watch out for drooling, chest pain, and inability to swallow, or dark stools.
Dark stools pointing to internal bleeding, right?
Exactly. And there is a vital piece of medical advice you need to know. If you suspect someone swallowed sharp metal, never force them to vomit.
Oh, because it could just slice everything back up on the way out?
Precisely. It is incredibly dangerous.
That makes total sense, but it is still terrifying. Wait, I still don't understand how this even happens in the first place. These are multi-million-dollar food factories with high-tech metal detectors, right?
They do have them,
So
yeah.
how do 160,000 pounds of contaminated food just slip past them and make it all the way to the grocery store?
It's all about the physics of metal detection. The FDA's hazard control manual points out that these processing plants are full of potential hazards that are constantly wearing down.
Like what kind of machinery?
Things like worn wire mesh belts, broken saw blades, or even injection needles. The issue is that a lot of industrial detectors are calibrated to spot perfect little spheres of metal.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so if a thin piece of stainless steel wire snaps off a conveyor belt and travels through the detector pointing straight forward.
It's like trying to see a needle here on instead of from the side. It just disappears because the cross-section is so incredibly small.
Exactly. The machine doesn't even register it.
Which means checking your own freezer is absolutely crucial. We can't always rely on the system to catch everything instantly.
Right, and you have to apply this knowledge to future recalls, too. Official risk warnings often lag weeks behind actual product withdrawals while the bureaucracy catches up.
So you basically have to prioritize your own safety and just stay vigilant.
Definitely.
It really leaves you with something to think about.
That's that.
Well, as our food supply becomes increasingly automated and mass-produced, have we simply traded the ancient risks of bacterial contamination for the modern hazard of industrial machinery slowly wearing down into our meals?
Wow. That is a very unsettling but very real perspective.
Right. Definitely something for you to ponder next time you heat up a quick snack. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and stay safe out there.